Peace, family, and welcome to Denali Vision. I am your host, LeVar Anderson, and I'm bringing nothing but facts. I'm a father on a quest for justice, and it has been one hell of a fight. My son, Denali Anderson, was savagely murdered on August 6, 2022, at an underage drinking party in Pasco, Washington, by a group of teenagers that call themselves the Tri City Blitz Gang. This is my raw and unfiltered truth of how one man, my son, was murdered by the city, tortured by the county, and buried by the state. Before we get into it, first I would like to extend my gratitude to all those who have watched, are following along, or joining Denali Vision for the first time. I sincerely thank you, and I'd be much obliged if you could do me this favor and continue to show support. Justice for Denali. Please like and share these videos because the world is starting to take notice, and now others can see Pasco, Washington Police Department and Franklin County prosecutors and judges misdeeds. These ripples are starting to roll, family. So again, thank you for helping me get out to the world and expose their misdeeds. On today's program, it's mandatory that I have to do a little bit of housekeeping because I know for sure you, all of my audience, has to have some questions. Maybe you even know more than I do, but I'm fighting a system. And hell, I know I have a million questions myself. But I want to start off by reading an article from Tri City Herald. Now, I'll try and read through it as quick as possible, but please excuse me in advance, for sometimes I can be long winded. So let's get into it. This is murdered by the city, tortured by the county, and buried by the state. Now, this newspaper article from Tri City Herald dated December 20th, 2022 reads Video analysis leads to drop murder charges for the teen tied to Pasco deadly gunfight. Ah, interesting headline. Okay. The article reads Prosecutors dropped the murder charges against the youngest suspect in the Pasco shootout after finding they had the wrong person immediately. So, wait a minute. The 15-year-old kid they arrested for Denali's murder, his charges were dropped? Correct. And you found out about his release, not from prosecutors, but on social media? Correct. And now prosecutors are saying they had the wrong person? Correct. Well, then who the hell did they arrest? Bingo. The article states it was believed that Derek Jackson, 15, was part of a second group of teens who opened fire outside of a house party on August 6. Denali Anderson, 20, died in the exchange of gunfire. There you see him. There go my boy right there. Love you, son. We're going to get you justice. And that photo is a stolen photo by Park Middle School administration employee who went in there after hours off of campus, accessed the Kennewick School Department database, and took his photo as he was a minor, which is a violation of law. So from the schools to the courts, everybody dirty because they've never had to be held accountable. Three little isolated cities in eastern Washington doing whatever the hell they want to do. But I digress. Now, back to the article. He was charged in Benton Franklin Juvenile Court with murder, assault, and illegal gun possession, the 15-year-old. But while video showed him at the scene and running next to one of the shooting suspects, he wasn't never seen with a gun, filed by Jackson's attorney. Now, I kind of want to go back and forth between the case report and the article, but again, like I said, I don't want to be long-winded. I'm going to save all that information for the next video and try to keep it short for y'all because I appreciate your time. But while video showed him at the scene running next to one of the shooting suspects, he wasn't ever seen with a gun, according to a motion filed by Jackson's attorney. All right, great. Now, I'm on here for justice for my son, Denali Anderson, but I'm privy to fight for justice for anyone that's being detained, in jail, in prison, held against their will, whatever, for any crime or anything they have not done. That's unjustified. Now, Franklin County prosecutors, the article continues, Franklin County prosecutors ordered their own forensic analysis of the video and conducted follow-up interviews and discovered that the person they thought was Jackson really wasn't. Okay. Prosecutor Sean Saint told the Herald. Now, it's ironic that Prosecutor Sean Saint won't even return my phone calls, answer my emails, further subjected us to more hostility, won't talk to me, but he told that to the Herald. And he'll talk to the newspaper, he'll talk to Cameron Probert. But We're obligated to dismiss when we no longer have evidence supporting the allegations, he said. As you should. But I have the case report and we know what happened. But anyway, the article goes on to say the remaining 5 people linked to the shooting are continuing to face charges, and they are Zane Davis, rendering criminal assistance. Bail was set at $10,000. The only one charged with rendering criminal assistance out of that silver Prius. Again, like I said, one out of the whole 5 in the Prius. Derek was the other one, and we're talking about his release. They got J3, and the other 2 girls are free to go. Okay. Jalen Fields, 17, charged with second-degree murder, first-degree assault, illegal possession of a firearm. Only one in jail on that illegal possession of a firearm. Angel Garcia, charged with second-degree murder, first-degree assault, illegal possession of a firearm. Osman Morales Salto, charged with second-degree murder, first-degree assault, no illegal possession of a firearm. Brian Panduro Venezuela, charged with second-degree murder and first-degree assault, and no illegal possession of a firearm. Again, back to the video when prosecutors failed to act, part 1 and 2, we got 2 decorated detectives that say they all got first-degree murder and they all have illegal possession of firearms. But as you can see, these 2 weren't even charged, and then none of them are in jail for first-degree murder and illegal possession of a firearm except one on the latter. Now, the article continues to read, shooting at a party. So, according to court documents, Jackson went to the party with Fields and Davis on Pimlico Drive in a Toyota Prius. Oh, so they didn't just only run to the Prius after the shooting, they came to the party in the Prius. Okay, so now anybody with any instincts knows they got guns in the car, they got ammo, they strapped up, they ready. As soon as we get there, I'm gonna air it out. I'm gonna empty out my whole clip. I don't care who's out there, let's get it done. So, the article states gunfire started shortly after the 3 arrived at the party. Shortly after the 3 arrived, according to the documents. Exactly. Because they already knew what they came there to do. Let's get it done. Let's make it happen, according to court documents. Now, one victim, Caden Gowith, told police the shooting started with an argument between Panduro Venezuela and Anderson. Panduro Venezuela, Brian, Morales Salto, Osman, and Garcia, Angel, were in a Nissan Altima when an argument began, and Angel Garcia got out of the car and allegedly shot Anderson. Now, I like how they say allegedly when they got the video, but, I don't want to get into that whole thing. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty, but we know. Hair, pull out the driver, you're the shooter. Again, don't want to be long-winded, I could talk forever. The other 2 in the car reportedly began firing as well, according to police, as all 3 should have illegal possession of a firearm. Now, back to the article. Gowith was shot in the stomach and chest, and he later admitted to having a gun in a backpack near him, but it's unclear if he returned fire. Now, other articles state the gun was on the ground, there was a blood trail that led to the backpack with keys, a wallet, etc., etc. This one says it's in the backpack. I know what the police reports say, but nevertheless, he admitted having a gun and it was unclear if he returned fire. Okay, now, according to the article, Anderson retrieved his handgun and unloaded the magazine, according to Gowith. He said he saw Anderson fall, and one of the teens got out of the car and shot Anderson twice while he was on the ground, according to the documents. And every time they say according to the documents, I have all those documents. And my son died on the scene. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read the article because, like I said, I don't want to get too long-winded because I have so much to talk about, and I know you have so many questions as I do as well, and we're going to get justice. But now we get into the misinterpreted video, okay? That now prosecutors are now saying they misinterpreted, but some Pasco police detectives are out there doing the work, and you've already put it together. It's clear as day. I don't know what the hell's going on, but hey, Dad bringing receipts for you, baby boy, and they can't dispute facts. So the article states Pasco police initially believed that a video showed Fields and Jackson running to the Prius while Fields fired a gun. Again, the article said, the case report said, two males are seen running, shooting. Not one male, but two males. A second clip showed someone. So they're just saying a clip. But the case report says further review of the surveillance showed blank. So the article says the second clip showed someone believed to be Jackson holding a weapon directing traffic so the Ultima could leave. Jackson's defense attorney, Brian Holtgren, who was prosecuting attorney Brian Holtgren, now defense attorney Brian Holtgren, who knows what kind of kickbacks they're getting over there for all their fuckery and chicanery that they got going on. 1 minute you're a prosecutor, next minute you're a defense attorney. Let's go ahead and try to make you a judge. The more prejudice you are, the better. I'll do this for you. You do that for me. A quid pro quo to keep everybody on their little hamster wheel. Best way for them to ensure job security. Good job, guys. Hey, they figured it out. But back to the article. Defense attorney Brian Holtgren pointed out problems with the video when he moved to have his client released. And we'll get into those having his client released because, oh boy, that's a doozy. But he argued that it was impossible for Jackson to be the person who was directing traffic to allow the Nissan to leave. Now, if it's impossible for Jackson to be the one who held the gun allowing the traffic to leave, then we don't want it to be him. If it's impossible to be Jackson, we don't want it to be Jackson. If your name ain't Bennett, you ain't in it. But the article states that the video shows that the final shots fired happened around 45 seconds after Jackson left the scene. Okay? So, at first they thought it was Jackson holding the gun, directing traffic, letting the white Nissan leave, then runs to the Prius, fires. So now they're saying the video shows that the final shots happened about 45 seconds after Jackson had left the scene. But we got two final executions. Overkill. Okay? So, 45 seconds. They left. Jackson's gone. All right. If he left, he wasn't there. Again, we don't want to put him there. But the case report says otherwise. He hopped into the Prius, as the witness stated, and stopped and picked up Angel at the Maverick. Now, wait a minute. How would they stop and pick up Angel at the Maverick if they're already 45 seconds gone from the scene? All right? From that scene, in 45 seconds, they should have been some distance away over by Road 32 somewhere, pulling up on Jack in the Box or wherever. But they stopped at the Maverick to pick up Angel. So even if that is the case, did someone in the white Nissan call somebody in the Prius and say, hey, my tires went flat, stop at the Maverick? Yeah, stop right there at the Maverick, and we're going to pull up, and Angel needs to get in the car with you. We're going to try and push this car to the hospital, even though it's flat, but stop and meet us. Just doesn't make sense. Don't make no sense at all. So the article goes on to say, it is impossible. The person allegedly directing traffic to allow the Nissan leave is one of the people that got into the Prius, Holtgren said. And the reason why he said that is because it's like the person initially believed to be directing traffic was actually a bystander, family. A bystander. Somebody just standing out there in the line of fire, cars zooming by, gunshots going off, final executions, and it's just the bystander who was just pointing towards Anderson. Come on, man. Now, what could this bystander be pointing at? Police hadn't arrived yet. They weren't pointing to say, hey, over here, officers, this guy needs help. What are they pointing at? Now somebody was directing traffic with a gun to now being a bystander. Okay, so where did that bystander go? And the bystander had short ear-length dreadlocks, or the bystander matched the description of Derek Jackson? I mean, you can't make this shit up, family. So again, like I said, I want to reiterate that evidence from the case report. Okay? So the video shows two males, two males, two males running, shooting, getting into a parked hatchback. The skinny male goes to the driver's seat, pulls out Brian, and that's either Angel or Osmond. Those are the only three that are supposedly in that white Nissan. The two males seen shooting. The two males, not one. The skinny male then goes to the driver's seat based on that description. Skinny male with ear-length dreadlocks. They didn't say that. Not the skinny male with poofy hair. They just said the skinny male. Again, the female witnesses, suspects, who were in the car rendering criminal assistance before and after being an accessory in that Prius, stated that it was J3 and Derek Jackson that got into the Prius. Another individual, her cousin, stated J3 and Derek Jackson. Now, the video shows this bystander, which is hilarious. Now their bystander walks up, holding a firearm, letting the white Nissan leave, right? Then that individual runs towards the Prius and is seen. Not maybe seen, not we think we see, but seen firing towards where Denali lay before entering the Prius. All right? So they say two males, right? But then that individual, okay? So it kind of makes sense if they're saying we didn't see him with a gun. Again, I'm not trying to get you fucked up. He wasn't running with a gun. That individual then runs towards the Prius and is seen firing. So two people got in, one person got the gun, both running together, but that person matches the description, but they say that he leaves directly from there, not a bystander, but runs towards the Prius. Okay. And finally, this witness whose name is blocked out here, she saw Denali on the ground. She was right there, parked behind the two cars, the Nissan and the Jeep Liberty, where all the suspects were, and she saw the bullets hitting the ground in front of her vehicle. She stated she saw one male with a red jacket or sweater on the yard shooting at Denali. That's one. Two males on the sidewalk side. 1 plus 2, that's 3. And 3 males on the street side of the Nissan during the shooting. 3 plus 3, that's 6 shooters all day long. 3 plus 3 is 6. 1 male in the red, 2 males on the sidewalk, 3 on the street. Where they all at, Sergeant Brad Greggory? Tri-City Herald ain't write an article on that. Again, the suspects were described by our anonymous witness as associated with a brown, gray, or smaller silver car, silver Prius. She stated that one of the suspects was possibly Hispanic with ear-length dreadlocks. She didn't say he had poofy hair. She didn't say he had buzzed hair. She didn't say he was tall and skinny. She just said he was possibly Hispanic with ear-length dreadlocks. Now, I don't know too many Mexicans with ear-length dreadlocks, or Hispanics with ear-length dreadlocks, unless they got a little bit African American in them to get it twisted up like that. I could be wrong. But she also described the driver of the suspect vehicle, the white Nissan, as a Hispanic male with short, buzzed hair. She didn't say he had poofy hair. She didn't say he had ear-length dreadlocks. Didn't say he was heavy-set. Now, if anybody can put 2 and 2 together, this witness saw both final execution shots. The white Nissan, execution shots. Silver Prius, execution shots. And the vehicles they got into. Now, here's those photos of the suspects running to the Prius. Looks like you can see somebody right there. You know, I don't know if he's getting out to let that person get in, or they're both getting in. You know, I don't know. I wish I found somebody with technology that can go ahead and pixelate that and blow it up and make it look clear as day. And then here's another photo right here of the suspects running to the Prius. You can clearly see over here that that's a gas station. Right there. They're at the Maverick. That looks like some pumps right there. They're at the Maverick. So this is when they stopped and possibly picked up Angel. So now he's got on white shoes, jeans. You can see the person in the back either letting him in or getting in with him as well. And you know, it looks like almost he took a dive in. Doesn't leave like he nonchalantly got in, like he's still running. And there's the gas station right there. So, private investigator, we got to get that Maverick video so we can see the clear shots of the suspects. It's there. I know, family, I've kept you longer than anticipated, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. You know, the whole housekeeping, cleaning that I'm doing. I don't want this video to be a half an hour, so on the next video, I'm going to give you clear, factual evidence that my son, Denali Anderson, never unloaded any magazine. I have almost 1,000 pages of evidence, not one mention or piece of evidence that shows my son shot anything. No video of him shooting. Otherwise, you'd know about it. On the contrary, his toxicology report was clear and clean. No drugs or alcohol in his system at all. And I got that on paper. On the autopsy report, no gunshot residue on his hands or clothing. You would have some if you fired a weapon, and that's on paper. No .22, as some articles state, as the weapon he fired was booked into evidence. No gun in his hand at the time of death. I mean, you fall, you get shot, you got a gun. I mean, guns just don't get up and walk away. And guns don't shoot people. Guns don't kill people. People do that shit. So there's no gun in his hand or his finger mimicking a trigger pulling motion at the time of death. So I say, nowhere, no evidence, videos, no prosecutors, no detectives, no .22 as stated in some of the articles booked into evidence, no gun. He didn't unload any magazine. So let me set this for you, and then I'm going to close it out, and I'll see y'all back for the next video. But back to the article. From the Tri-City Herald, it states that Gawith saw Anderson fall after being shot and unloaded his magazine. Now, did he unload it from the prone position or lying on the ground? Okay. The trajectory of those shots would be from a downward shooting up to the driver's side of the vehicle, right? But the trajectory shows a left to right from the back rear of the vehicle. Now, I want to show you guys this here. Now, they placed trajectory rods for the bullet holes on the white Nissan. The passenger side lit up. The driver's side, only damage was one little bullet hole that was too small to fit a rod into. And that could have came from anywhere. But he unloaded his magazine. Brian's injuries are shot in the low back and the right shoulder. But Denali was supposedly arguing on the driver's side. So let me ask you this, family. How can he shoot Brian's right shoulder and low back from the left side? It's impossible. Obviously, my son can't speak, so anything can be said. And while he can't speak for himself, the evidence from the police report speaks for itself. And he didn't shoot nothing. And I'll stand on that. And let's match receipts. So thank you, family. I'm out. Until the next time, please like and share, because if you're picking up what I'm putting down, it's time for action. Let's ring them lines. I like to say peace to my son, my brother, my friend. I walk in your strength. legacy, and power today and every day.